Hello. Hey everyone. Good morning. Welcome to this iOS test automation using XCUI framework. As part of the today's session, I just want to demonstrate you a small example. If you click on this search, the default search option is being populated. I need to write down a program that should click on here and it should enter my name as Surendra. Okay, this is what I need to write down a program here. This is what my requirement is. Okay, so in order to do this particular activity, it's up to your use or your wish, basically, how exactly you can identify the locators, whether you can identify the locators using a debugging mode or whether you can identify the locators using the accessibility inspector, up to your call. So there is a no restriction that we have to go in this particular way. It's up to our wish, but I'm preferring this accessibility inspector in this situation. Now, what I'm gonna do right now means, so this first screen, if you guys remember, we already know that these are some static texts, right? That's what we have studied. Whatever these options that are populating here, we can use a static text and we can navigate to the further screens. So that's the reason. Again, I'm not re-identifying those locators in the accessibility inspector. For this search option, and as well as for that default option too. For the both options, I'm not identifying any locators as such. I was directly using this static text and I'm proceeding with my further script. So here I have created one particular method right now. Okay, so this is what the ultimate method that we have created. So this is the method, and I'm using an launch method that should launch this particular method, the application. After launching the app, we need to identify the static text. Out of all the static text available, which static text you want to click? You want to click on a search. So here, search dot tap. Perfect. After tapping this search, it's navigating to this screen where you need to pick on this default option. So here, app dot static text again, and here I'm using default dot tab. Okay, default dot tab. That's it. Perfect. It's done ultimately. And after that, now let's open this accessibility inspector and let us open our simulator and see what is the locator for this. So I'm highlighting this location on my accessibility inspector and I'm clicking there. So whenever you clicked on that particular thing, it's showing as the type as a search text field. Okay, it's showing type as a search text field. So somehow I felt that this is not a pretty much a clear in this case. Okay, the accessibility inspector is not giving a clear-cut information. Hence, what I'm doing means I was just closing my accessibility inspector, and after this line, I'm using a sleep for 5 seconds where I just want to add a debug point here and I want to debug my program and I want to identify my locators in the debugging mode. Let me run it. And when we are executing the test script, so let us see, in the debugging mode, it should go to the debugging mode, and on that debugging mode, let us try to identify the locators. Okay, so where is this simulator? Okay, so it's asking for some credentials. Let's grant it. Yeah, so let it grant so that it should stop in the debugging mode. Okay, so the application is launched. Okay, that's fine. It should click on a search. It should click on a default. And now at the breakpoint, it got a stop. Perfect. Let me clear the log. And now what I'm doing means XCUI application. Okay, XCUI application. And I felt that, okay, this is a text field. So here, dot text fields. I am asking whatever the text fields are there in this particular screen, just print it. So here, if you observe right now, the information is not displaying anything, with which we understood that that's not a text field. Okay, that's not a text field, and I am not sure what type of locator it is or what type of an object it is. Hence, what I'm doing means PO direct XCUI application. So whenever you are directly using this XCUI application, if you observe right now, the complete details on that screen will be populated. Okay, let us see. So this is UIKit application. That's fine. And if you scroll down further, there is a navigation bar. There is a static text, which is a default search bar. See here, default search bar, and this is the button above. And below that, there is a field that we should know. Okay, others. There is an image and there is a search field. So here, it is considering it as a search field. Okay, search field. So what we need to do means clear this one, and I got it. PO XCUI application dot search fields. So let me hit enter button. So it's showing that only one search field is there. Okay, only one search field is there here. That's it, right? So it's showing only one search field is there. Perfect. Which don't have any locators. See, basically, it's just giving some coordinates, but you don't have any locators. In such situations, how are we going to deal with it? Right. So here, what I'm gonna do right now means app dot, okay, I wanna search fields. From all the search fields, get an element. Okay, get an element. Whenever there is a single element is there, I can use this particular element option. See here, we are giving a search fields. Okay, if there are a single or if there are a multiple search fields, then there is a different syntax. If there is a single search field, then you can give element. From the search fields, pick the first element and perform a tap operation. Again, app dot search fields again, dot element again, dot type. I want to type it. So what I want to type it, I just want to type my name, Surendra Jagannathan. That's it, as simple as it is. Okay, now let us try to continue this particular execution, and let us see how the app is gonna execute. So once this execution got completed, now let me run the script to see whether this program is working or not. So it means whether the search field is recognizing or not, whether it is clicking on a search field or not, and whether it is entering the value in the search field or not. It does perform that operation. So here the ultimate point here is, if that object is not having any locators, as we know it's a search field, we are referring to an element, and element refers from the search fields, the first element it will pick and it will perform that particular tap operation. And immediately a question that comes in our mind, Surendra, in the situation, as you said, that there is a single element, hence you are using this element. For suppose, if I go to the text fields, there are these many text fields are there. If these many text fields are there, how exactly you are gonna deal with it, right? How exactly we are gonna deal with it? So let me create a function, test example 12. Okay, this is the new function that I'm creating. Again, app.launch from this particular function, app.launch, and again, app dot the static text. So what is your static text that you want to do? So I want to click on these text fields. Okay, so here text fields. First, I want to perform a tap operation on these text fields. After performing a tap operation, let's add a sleep and let us see what exactly those attributes are. So I just added a debug point here. After tapping the text field, once it navigated to the next screen. So here is the screen where let me identify the locators here. PO XCUI application I thought it's a search field and hit on a search field. See, it's showing that 0. There are no search fields are there. Now, let me consider it as a text field. So, dot, I'm using a text field. If I hit enter button, see, basically there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 different text fields are there on that particular screen which are being populated. And if you observe, all are having this placeholder text itself. Right. So how can we distinguish that? So it means with the same locator, there are multiple objects are there. How are we going to deal with it? So app dot text fields dot element. You know that element is gonna refer to the first element, but I wanna refer the third element. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to go to the third element or the second element. Okay. So here I can use element bound by its index. Bound by index 1. Okay. Whichever the element is there, bounding by an index as a 1. We all know that index will start from 0, right? Whichever the object is bounding by its index 1, on which perform the tap operation. So it means app.text fields is the one which is getting all the text fields, out of which element is the one that is picking the desired element, for which we are giving a bound by index value that's gonna get the desired index object. Whichever the desired object is there, that object would be retrieved. Now I wanna enter my text into this one. So here I'm giving my name Surendra Jagannatham. Let me try to, okay, let us finish this one and let me try to run the program. And after the value also, or I can say after the execution, add a few time, a few minutes, few seconds to see how this is gonna work. So now it should click on a text fields. Now I don't want these debug points. So let us continue and see. See here, Surendra Jagannathan got entered into that particular field. So this is the way how exactly you can handle a text fields. And in this situation, guys, if you clearly observe, we have handled a search field and as well as a text field. And that too on this search field, how are we going to identify a single element? And if at all any multiple elements are there, how are we going to identify? For suppose if I give it as a 3 index, see here 3 index and execute the program. Okay, if I give index as a 3 and execute the program, that it will execute. And one more thing, guys, okay, and one more thing here that you need to do. If you observe this particular text fields, first of all, we are performing a tab operation and then we are doing a desired operation as a keyword entering of a value. So without performing the tap operation, the object will not be in an active state, hence it will not enter that particular value. That's the reason you need to tap it first and then you need to perform the desired operations. Okay, perfect. This is the way how exactly you need to deal with the search fields and the text fields with a single element, with the multiple elements using a bound by index. Okay, perfect. Done the deal. See you in the next session. Thank you.